The two weakest teams going into this final week of football is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills. The only reason why I think Kansas City is better right now than the Bills as far as the rankings offensively and defensively is because they have the refs on their side. That's the only reason why. I mean, anybody to think that they don't have the refs on their side, Patrick Mahomes is going to get every call. He is going to get every call this weekend. So the Bills got to make less mistakes and just go out there and completely blow the Kansas City Chiefs out. Take an early lead, go up 14-0, let them chase you. That is the only way they're going to beat them. But if you look at the Commanders right now, offensively this year, they were ranked third in all of the NFL. Defensively, they were ranked 13th. If you look at the Bills this year, the Bills offensively, and I'm looking at it right now, they were ranked right now fifth in offense, but defensively, they were ranked 17th. So as good as their defense looked this year in some parts of the season, they weren't there. In Kansas City, we all know where their offense, their offense was ranked almost dead last in the NFL. Do you know that? Does anybody understand that? This is why I don't think Patrick Mahomes is as good as everybody says he is. He had a lot of the calls on his side. Kansas City's offense this year was practically dead last in all of the NFL. And I'm not saying that to really upset anybody. When all the teams that have made the playoffs, not dead last, all the teams that have made the playoffs, Detroit, Baltimore, Washington, Houston, Bills, Rams, Philadelphia, Green Bay, Tampa, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Los Angeles, Denver, and Kansas City. I'm sorry. The Kansas City Chiefs, out of all those teams, had the worst offense in all of football. Out of all those teams, they were the worst. But they had the best record out of all the teams. What does that tell you about the NFL? So, I mean, they definitely have the refs on their side. There's no question. But I think out of all four teams, these are the two weakest teams. So, and a lot of people are looking forward to watching this game because we all know that Kansas City and the Bills do not like each other.
No.
They do not like each other. Josh Allen respects Patrick Mahomes, but for years they've been comparing each other's arm strength and who has the strongest arm. I think it's Josh Allen, but we're going to see on Sunday who is going to go out there and be the champion that we think they could be. I hope it's Josh Allen, but again, it doesn't bode well for him because the refs always fall on the Kansas City Chiefs side. I'm very surprised Joe Brady didn't get an offer.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that nobody offered Joe Brady a job. This guy has had a sensational year. This team was the fifth best offense in the league and pretty much had to transition with a bunch of young guys. I mean, Coleman, you bring in Amari Cooper in the middle of the season. Their tight ends have played very well. Knox has played well. They've had a tremendous amount of talent around Josh Allen, maybe for the first time. And then obviously the running game in Cook, who had a breakout year, 17, 18 touchdowns. And he broke, O.J. Simpson's record over there for Buffalo. So it's going to be fun to watch. I honestly think it could go either way in this game, but I think it could go either way in the Washington game too. But I think it bodes well for Philadelphia. If Jalen Hurts is 85, 90%, it's going to be very, very hard for Washington to really compete with a running game that good and that strong with Saquon Barkley running the ball right behind Jalen Hurts. So it's going to be fun. And the Buffalo Bills, I just love it. I want to see the Buffalo Bills succeed. I want to see Buffalo go that route and go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. Josh Allen, where going into the offseason, they lost all their secondary players. They lost a ton of players. They're going with some of these young players. Then they're going with these third-dairy players, guys that, obviously almost died on a football field, and everybody knows who I'm talking about. And they've had a sensational year. This has been one of their more successful years when it comes to defense. They've played sensational with Josh Allen. Josh Allen's done a lot. He's done a lot more than he needs to. But this is why he stands for something. This is why I believe Josh Allen is not only one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, I believe he's the best quarterback in the league right now. Is because he led his team. He did, to a team that is definitely inferior to any of these teams right now. Even Kansas City with their talent and some of their woes that they've had this year. If you were to match these two teams up, who's really better? I would say Kansas City is still better than the Buffalo Bills. And if you look, they're probably the weakest team out of all the teams, the Buffalo Bills, no matter if they're in the AFC East or not. I mean, Washington has a tremendous amount of young talent. Buffalo's got a bunch of guys that some people never even heard of. Guys like Coleman. Did anybody think Coleman was going to be a star wide receiver this year and actually play as well as he did? Yeah, he was a high draft pick, but everybody was making fun of him, that he couldn't catch, he drops the ball, he has pot hands, he wasn't going to succeed in him. Well, guess what? He succeeded. He became the number one target before they added, obviously, Amari Cooper. This team has a chance to make history. I want to see it. I would love to see Buffalo and Philadelphia. That's my prediction. But the AFC title game, this is what we all wanted to see. Screw the Swifties. I don't want to see Taylor Swift and who she's hanging out in the press box with. If it's Caitlin Clark or goddamn, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds or anybody else, Jay-Z, Beyonce, who the hell cares? I don't want to see her ugly face. I just want to see the game, and I want to see what happens on a football field. And hopefully Travis Kelce puts up a dud so we don't have to see her smile all game long.